Good morning. My name is Arvind Misra, Managing Director of ASX listed Belararox. Our ticker is BRX. We are a recently listed company, only about 15 months old. We listed last year in January 2022 on the back of a couple of projects in Australia. And our flagship project last year was Belara project in New South Wales, which is for copper, zinc, lead, gold, and silver, and a project in Western Australia, which is very prospective for gold and lithium. More recently, we have acquired a very prospective project for potentially for large copper gold porphyry systems in Argentina, which I'll talk a bit more about in my presentation. So in terms of location of the project, you will see on this slide on the right-hand side, the project in New South Wales, which is about 3-hour drive from Sydney, northwest. It's in the Lachlan Fold Belt. We inherited this project from previous company, which had about 2.5 million ton with the JORC 2004 code. We have done about 7,000 meters of drilling, RC endowment, and we have now got 5 million ton or at 3.4% zinc equivalent grade, which includes zinc, copper, gold, and silver. And also the other project that we have in Western Australia is Bulla project. It's near Coolgardie, which is traditionally been known for large gold mines, but recently there has been a lot of discoveries near our area for lithium, very significant discoveries. So we have been looking at lithium prospectivity, and after doing the drone imagery, mapping, and the rock chip samples, we have identified potential for LCT pegmatites on our ground, and we will talk about that. But more importantly, and very significantly, we have this project in Argentina called TMT project, which stands for Toro Malambo and Tombo project. This project we recently acquired from a gentleman called Mr. Jason Ward, who is now director of my company. And he has lived in Argentina for a long time, been credited with a lot of discoveries for copper gold porphyry, including Cascabel in Ecuador with Sol Gold, which is a large company now. So this project he has assembled over the 20-year period living in Argentina, and he loves this area just because it's in that area where there's bigger players and they are finding bigger copper discoveries and gold discoveries. So immediately south of us is companies like BRX and Shandong. They have got 2 producing mines, Pascualama and Veladero. Immediately north to us, about 40 kilometers, there has been a couple of significant findings by London and BHP spending with them on a project called Philadelphia Sol. London is spending $4 billion into developing a project called Josemaria. So it's a very attractive area, ranked number 1 by French Institute of Australia in terms of mining friendliness in the whole Latin America. So that project is world-class in many ways. And we have a very strong board, and the capital structure is very tight. We've only about 64 million shares on issue. So on the board, we have Mr. Neil Warburton, my chairman. I'm managing director. I'm a mining engineer by trade. I came in this country 35 years ago, worked for BHP's MIM, Rios. And after having done many listings, this is my 4th. Very excited about the team, including Jason Ward. He's a legendary geologist. Simon Robertson, a very experienced ASX director and accountant. And John Trekus is our company secretary, and he's a lawyer. As you can see on the right-hand side, only 64 million shares on issue. We market cap about $17.5 million, very tightly held. Top 20 shareholders hold about 50% of the business. Just talking about the TMT project, you can see from this screen in the yellow, that's our tenement, and you can see immediately south the 2 big mines, Veladero and Pascualama, being operated by BRX and Shandong. Immediately north, you can see the Philadelphia Sol and the London's Josemaria project. And that project, that 2 belts, the El Indio belt and the Maricunga belt, is now closing in that unexplored gap. And this is one of the best real estate you can have in terms of finding the large copper gold porphyry system. You can say from the writing here, Philadelphia Sol intersected 1.3 kilometer long intersection at 1.3% copper equivalent. So it's an area which is very prospective. It's called Elephant Country. Plenty of elephants to be found. Hopefully we found few on our ground. Recently, we commissioned Dr. Steve Garvin, who is a leading copper gold porphyry expert and has been involved with many major companies finding larger copper porphyry systems, particularly in Andes. And him and Jason Ward did this Sentinel-2 and satellite Lancet surveys, and they have ranked about 11 potential copper porphyry targets in our area. As you can see, A1, A2 targets, which is basically Tambo South and Malombo. And more importantly, on the southern side, where there has been some historical work done at the Tora projects, there are equally prospective copper porphyry targets. Just on my other projects in Belara, I just want to cover, we've got 643 square kilometer area. The two historical mines, Belara and Nitivi, which were mined pre-World War, they were mined for very high-grade copper, 3 to 5% copper, and 2 to 4.5 grams gold per ton. And we have done that initial drilling for the project Belara and Nitivi. Now we are looking at 20 more kilometers of untested, unmapped, and no work done in that corridor, mineralized corridor, which expands 20 kilometers south of Nitivi. And we're hoping that we will find the repeats of Belara and Nitivi. That work is currently we are doing right now. But on the equally exciting part is on the eastern side, there are some old gold workings like Lang Mine and all, where there has not been much work done. So that area, 643 square kilometer in Lachlan Fold Belt, very prospective for VMS style mineralization for copper, gold, lead, zinc, and silver, but equally also on the eastern side of our tenements, potentially some orogenic gold there, which we are working on right now. In terms of the future prospectivity, we can see this the inverse 1D magnetic survey done at 3D, and it shows the resource boundary line. It clearly shows the ore body remains open and from Belara north and down plunging south, and equally also prospective on the native B side on the southern side, open down plunge. And you can see from here, few more kilometers, it shows prospectivity. That is where we are busy mapping and doing some initial rock chip sampling also to identify future drilling targets. Now moving to my below-bulling lithium project, this slide shows that about 350 million tons worth of resource identified and being mined by bigger companies and mines like Mount Holland, Mount Marion, and Bald Hill. And we are right actually 11.5 kilometers from a recent discovery by FBM, 11.5 kilometers from there in the same corridor. And also around us, there's a company called GBM. They have been drilling for pegmatite and lithium pegmatite, and both of them have intersected lithium pegmatites, particularly FBM. They have announced 29 meters at 1.3% lithium. And it looks like that area extends in our ground, also that same mineralized boundaries. And we recently announced some rock chip samples, and we confirmed that we have some lithium and pathfinder material. That was the idea of doing the rock chips. Now we know we got rubidium, we got calcium in our ground. So we'll be doing now next round of work. We'll be doing some soil sampling, and eventually we'll probably do some drilling to hopefully get the similar kind of results that other people are getting in our neighborhood, particularly FBM. So that's about our projects. In terms of some, we are going to be announcing a lot of ASX announcements in the next fall. We immediately looking at announcing, conforming our old drilling data at TMT project, conforming them to 2012. And if we are able to conform that to 2012 with the previous drilling done 22 holes at the Tora project in TMT, hopefully we'll be able to estimate a exploration target, which we believe if we are able to do that will be very significant, announce that to the market. And then once the season opens up in Andes in Argentina, which is under ice right now, the season opens in September with the approval of EIAs, which we expect to achieve between now and September. We'll start our field work, and that will lead to a lot of those announcements from the field work. So there will be continuous flow of information from our Argentina project, from our projects in Australia at Belara. We'll be announcing our rock chip work results and future geophysics work that we are planning to do. And at the below-bulling project, quite excitingly, we probably would be announcing our soil sampling in the next few months, and then followed by drilling work and expand from there on. So for the next 6 months to 12 months, we got plenty of announcements, plenty of market updates coming up for our shareholders. Well, thank you very much for this, and I'll leave it for Vivian to ask any questions if you have.